Okay. Well, I'm doing that. It is Brown Cat Day. Today, I am going to be working on pretty much just cats. So today is just a cat day, and I'm probably only going to be streaming for like 4 hours. So medium length stream. Uh, but I want to work on more of these cats. See if I can make some more just fun little guys. Um, Contemplating if I want to make more of these guys, or I have this really fluffy was a snow leopard print, incredibly fluffy. It doesn't have the same stretch as these guys though. Like these guys are incredibly stretchy faces. Um very squish. This does not have nearly as much stretch to it. So I'm curious as to how the shape of the cats would change with this fabric. I think they'd probably be about the same, but I'm not certain on that. So I think what I might want to do is set this up, just do some basic cat embroideries on it. I'm not going to do any of the faces or anything. I'm going to basically just make the plain cat face. And we'll see how that goes. Because if I can just make some really quick little cats out of this, that might be cute and fuzzy things. So, okay, timer up. This is going to be the same cat as before, which I believe. Let me pull it up on my computer. Because that was just a plain old cat. It just saved as the west side. I think I did 9 by 15 ish. So 9 up. Let's see, is this. This is 18 is right here. So this is like 19 and a half. So I might just cut this down the middle in half. Those guys out of the way. Whack. Smacking everything. Because that's 9, right? Yeah, that's 9. So I'm going to just cut this in half. 9 by, and what did I say it was? It was 16. Ooh, like right there. 9 by 16. I think I'm going to just use scissors for this. I'm not even going to bother trying to uh, put it with the uh, rotary cutter. Well, it would help if that wasn't in the way. It's fine. Okay, put that out of the way for now. There's my 16. Oh, 3, 4, and 15, 16. Yeah, 16 and actually 17 because I don't count the little tiny edge there. Just lay that like that. That's mostly, oops, mostly the same on both sides. 9, 3, 6, 9, 10. Okay, so if I cut it down there, I should be big enough. I can get 2 cats out of these pieces. Ears are going to be a little bit tricky. You're going to have to figure out where I put the ears and or cut them out of the last end bits of the fabric. I can't cut it all up into these pieces quite yet. I need 12 by 20 for my embroidery papers, stabilizers. Ooh, you know what? I might be able to get 2 cat faces. If I change my embroidery file, I could do the 2 cat faces because there's no embroidery on the back. I don't really need that in my hoop. It traces the shape for me. Hello, Pick. I'm making fuzzy cats today. I'm going to put both of my cat faces in the embroidery hoop rather than doing the front and back. I'm going to make 2 cats at once. 12 by 20 here. Where's my 12, 11? Oh, right on the edge. Okay, well, to fold it this way then. There. There we go. 12 by 20. Just cats today. So I'm going to see if I can just make a whole bunch of them real quick and cheap, and then I can figure out the price of them. The green one turned out really nice. He looks like he's toxic sludge, so he's fun. But he is incredibly squishy, so he's fun. And I like the way he turned out there. Got the nice little spot on him. He is covered with lots of fluff. I am going to, I think, edit the file a little bit just to add a little bit of a zigzag stitch to help hold these edges down because I did have an issue where it didn't want to hold that edge. It kind of let loose. So if I put a little tiny zigzag along the inside of each of these patches, it will be a little bit more secure. And yeah, then you can throw them at siblings without fear that the spots will come off. So he's very throwable. Yes. So that's my third cat. I like to make a couple of the things just to iron out any of the problems before I really figure out the time it takes me. So right now I've got this really super fluffy like snow leopard fabric. So I'm gonna see if I can put together 2 of them and how long they take me. The alignment, no, not so much. What happened with the alignment is like as I was sewing it, I just didn't line up the pieces right. I didn't quite get them just aligned. So really what would help there is just me pinning in place better. So that's just what that was caused by. So I just need to pin better as I put them in place. Like this one I got lined up perfectly. These ones were both off by just a little tiny bit. And then this one was off by quite a bit. So it was just me not pinning things in place. Okay, so I've got those. There's my snow leopard fabric, which I really like. But also, this is probably going to be a pain in the butt to sew together. This is so soft and fluffy. Okay, so that's all hooped. I'm going to pause that temporarily because I'm going to change my embroidery file. Instead of doing the face and the back, I'm going to do two faces. So I need to go to my computer and change that. Okay, so here's the spot cat that I was working on yesterday for the green cat. Are you going to freeze on me? Seriously? Okay, well, don't do that. Technology hates me so much. Did it work now? Are we good? Okay. So I think for the plain cat, I'm going to get rid of all of my spots. Whoop, don't do that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all of those. And I'm actually going to get rid of the back entirely. I'm going to just have the face, and I'm going to copy the face. I do want to change the mouth, though. I don't like the way that tatami is filling in underneath. I'm going to choose, actually, I'll just do the center one. It doesn't need any. But I am going to add some stitches underneath. Copy and paste the mouth. Got that there. Let's the mouth down out of the way. These three weld to. No, you did not weld. No, you did. I have to overlap you better. Now will you weld? Okay, you got one of them. Okay, now are you over button? Weld together. Okay, so there's all one piece. You have, yeah, you do. Okay, and the Tommy stitch here, but then you're still a little bit wider. I want it to be a little skinnier than this. So I might just have to redo the entire mouth. Okay, let's get rid of that mouth. I'm going to just draw a new one. Close shape. Because I want this to fill in with stitches. What happened on the green cat is you can kind of see underneath the stitches here. So that you can see the green underneath the satin stitch of the mouth. So I want to fill this in with more stitches. I think what I'm going to do is a tatami stitch, which is just the basic fill underneath this, and then it'll go back over with the satin stitch after, which is pretty much the exact same thing I did with the nose here. It's just satin stitches over the tatami. There we go. Okay. Like if I move the nose, there are stitches underneath where that nose was. So if I do this, and I do stitch angle, 90-degree angle. Okay, so all the stitches are going to be like that. If I put this underneath the mouth, it should look the same. Except for then these three do not need any underlays because they're just going to be the satin stitch on top of my tatami stitch. So I've filled in underneath the mouth. And I'm going to go back and put satin over top of it so it looks prettier. Nice and smooth. I'm not going to do the same with the eyes because if I turn these satin stitches, they get kind of warped in the middle. They're just not the stitches are too long to cover that entire area, and I can turn that off, but then these are very, very long pieces of thread. So they might get caught or pull, and it just will cause more problems than it would solve. So the eyes have got to be your basic tatamis, but these, the mouth and the nose, can be little satin stitches. Now it's got satin or the tatami underneath. Does this need, this doesn't really need underlay, it just needs an edge run around it. Okay. Okay, so we've got the face. No ears on the face. I'm gonna just create a second one and boom all the way out. Move him over. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I can zoom back in, put them together. Okay. So now I need to realign everything. Because like the two outlines, number 1 and number 2. And then you're gonna come in and do the mouth, followed by that piece and that piece and that piece. And this eye, that nose, top of the nose, the other eye. Then you're gonna come over and do this face. Yeah, that's probably gonna be one face at a time. So select everything, edit, apply the closest joins. Now my thread should be jumping the least amount. Everything should. I can go back in, past. The green is the start, the red's the end. Start and end. It's gonna start here and here. Start and end. Start end. Start end. Jumps to here. Yep. Yep. Okay. And then it jumps to the other face. Okay, that looks good. And do they all fit? Nope. Select all. Oh, right, I've got my US metric. 360 is as wide as I can go. I've got 357.93, so that's good. They fit in my hoop. I can do the two front faces. And oh, I wanted to change these two. They're at a 2.5 length. I actually want to make them 2. I think that'll help cut through the back of the stabilizer a little bit better, so it'll be easier to take them off of the hoop. Okay, so I'm going to save design as 2 cat faces and export as 2 cat faces. Sure. I have that there. Go back to here. There, you did save. Okay. You didn't export. Ah, there you are. 2 cat faces. Nice. I have my 2 cat faces. Add that. USB drive. Two cat faces. And now go to embroidery machine. Who has a name tag? I made him a name tag last night. Thomas has his name tag on. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it right there, or if I might move it around, but at least he has a little name tag. See who Thomas is now. And then it's drive. Let's, Thomas, I need you to do your wiggles. Still have black threads, so we're good there. Okay. I do need a topper stabilizer for this because it is very fuzzy. Let me, I guess I can put that on the embroidery machine right now. Faces, drop them in, centered in the hoop, and time to go. Okay. So those can go there. You are on. Good. Okay. Cat faces, I think I'm going to do about maybe 5.5, 6 inches of the water soluble stabilizer just to go across where the faces go. Oops, I need to turn that back on. I am back to work on this. I didn't count when I was editing the file because theoretically I should already have that edited by the time I'm making these cats. So I generally don't include the little setup work to make the things. It's just the actual down in Mucat, the actual work time on them, not the prep time to create the files. Okay, so over at Thomas, we're going to slow you down a little bit and we're going to have you go. Give me that thread. Thank you. Oh, wow, that is fluffy. Okay. Well, don't do that. Don't pull your thread. Okay. Actually, I want you to put that there. Okay. Thank you. Because I'm going to pull this out. I want to be able to pin this in place. not quite visible on screen. It's fine. Okay. Pin that down. Actually, I'm going to pin all 4 corners, I think. Let's flip that around. Oops, come on. Give me my hoop. Thank you. You out of the way. Okay. There we go. So I've got my stabilizer. Stop. Stabilizer on there. And you need to thread your needle. Rude. Okay, so he's going to just make the face now for me. And while that is happening, I'm going to come back over to my table. And I'm going to cut out the backs of the cats and the ears, hopefully. If I can fit the ears in here as well, that would be phenomenal. I need a better cat pattern, I think. That cat pattern I have is kind of, well, it's just a single layer of, wait a minute. Because I changed the pattern a little bit. So that's actually the cat that I'm using. That's the cat shape, not this one. That's slightly different. Very slightly different. So, I need to trace that and make a new pattern for it. Do I have... Can I trace through there? Oh, I can not. It doesn't fit. Ah, well, that's... Oh, maybe it does that way? Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. It does. It just barely fits that way. Oh, I gotta make sure it's just up to the edge, though. I like using like a cardstock for patterns because they just have more space or like the durability to it. I need to get to a window though, and everything is a little bit blocked. Come on. Oh, you're going elsewhere. Goat goes there. Cricket gets around sideways. Move, please. Thank you. What are you pot on? Stop that. Okay. Okay. Just barely fits. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's perfect. I wish I could get the ears out of there because that would be helpful as well to have the little durability on the ears. Let's see. Where did I put the ear pattern? There's the ear pattern. Oh, that might just fit. Will the front of the ear fit? Where is the front of the ear? There's the front of the ear. Oh man, it might. Ah, okay. I like the name tag. Thank you. I made those last night. I'm thinking I might move them. It might go over onto the left hand side, where like the big blank blue area is. I might put them over in that area. But I do have for both Thomas and Bernard. If I put Bernard up in the bottom of the screen, he gets a little name tag at the bottom there as well. So I like that a lot. You can just now I can refer to them by name and they are named on screen. Only when they're actually visible though. Like I don't have uh an off-screen way to show who they are. But if they're on screen and I'm talking about them, then they will be shown. Okay, let's does that oh it fits better if I rotate it. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay. Now I have the back, the ear, and the front of the ear. I can also soften up that edge because I didn't do a very soft edge when I cut that ear. Okay, the mouth worked out fine. Perfect. Thank you, Thomas. I like that. Good. Okay, we'll have to see what the mouth looks like once it's all done if I pull it out there. But it didn't mess up while he was sewing, and I like that. Okay, cut these pattern bits out. Fuzzies everywhere. Hello, Mr. Moose. I don't know if you're actually listening right now or not, but hello. You are right now. Okay, hello. Okay, I'm not sure if I want to try and draw on this fabric and then cut out the lines that I have drawn. So I think what I'm going to do instead is just cut around the pattern piece. This is on to that second mouth. Okay, there's my face bits. Don't need those extra bits there. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do, it brushes down this way. I am putting arrows on my pieces. Okay, if I put my piece here, I think I'm going to just cut around the pattern bit. Instead of tracing it and then trying to cut it out, I'm going to just do it this way and hold everything in place. Ooh. And try not to cut the paper. Ah. Okay. There's my cat face. I don't think I can get around here easily. No, not really. Okay. Oh, let's see. Can I put this? No. Okay, so that's gonna have to be cut with, or maybe traced and cut out here. Yeah, I might have to trace that and cut those little bits out. But I got the main part, the main shape there. And I'll do the same thing here. Oh, were you still connected? Okay, well, I expect you to be connected there. That's fine. Okay, there's the two backs. Minus the little ear bits. They're a little bit fuzzy. A little bit fuzzy. Can I get an ear? No, that's going to be too small. I can't get an ear out of that. So I'm going to toss that. But well, that didn't sound right, Thomas. What are you doing? Sir, what was that? What did you do? Sir. Okay, let's go back. Okay, that's where you start the ear or the eye. So we're going to go back to that and you're going to just start over. And don't lose your thread. Okay, ready? Okay, that looks better. Thank you. Ah, okay. Man's being complicated. Uh Let's see. I can get a couple of ears out of this bit. So let me put my first front ear here. Whew. So many fuzzies. Okay, there's one front ear. I'm going to need 4 of these in total because I'm doing 2 cats right now. And I just cut it right here while you sit. Ugh. 2. Took a little sliver of paper off of that one though, so that was not great. Oops. There's 3. And there's 4. Okay, there's 4 front ears. Now 4 back ears. There's 1. Ooh. There's 3. And 4. And I've still got room for probably another 3, maybe 4 ears on there. So I don't think I'm going to toss that piece. I'm going to just put it back with the other fuzzy bits. Because if I can't fit an ear later on, I have a little bit of extra space here that I can put the ears on. I will get rid of the little bits though. Those are not helpful. I'll put that back with the rest of the fuzzies. Okay, I do still need to cut out the ear shapes here, those holes. Which I think, let's try with, I'm going to actually use a permanent marker. But I'm not anywhere close to the paper. I'm going to cut off a little bit around here. I'm going to just go a little bit further than where the dots are, the little line. It smells like permanent marker now. Okay. Let's see. Oop, don't get caught. Okay. Oof. Okay, Thomas is done. Let me just cut these out. And then I can go pay attention to him. Get the front of the cats out. Okay. back of the cat's there. Grab the front of the cats from Thomas. Pieces out of the way. You want the cats on screen so you can see what I'm making. Is that right? Lean up against that one? No, you're not gonna lean? Okay, well, you're fine then. There we go. We've got fronts and backs of the ears. Got the faces. Oh, need to put my pins away. I don't have my pin cushion over here. Okay. Oh, you know, that mouth looks a lot nicer. Okay. I like that mouth better. You can't really pull the stitches away and see underneath. I like that. As opposed to the green cat, who, I don't know if it's going to be super visible, but right in this part of his mouth, he's got some little green bits sticking through the thread. So I don't want that to happen on any other cats. These guys are so fuzzy. Oh my gosh. Like burying their faces. Okay. And the reason I put that topper on there is because the stitch lines that I went around the cats with have sunk so far into the fabric, it's very hard to see them. So as opposed to on the back, you can kind of see the white stitches. You can even see them better than you can see the black stitches on the front there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way, and now we can cut out the cat faces, which I'm going to do from the back because, again, I can see the lines better from the back. I also have a little bit of extra fabric on these bits that I could cut ears out of. Oop, let go. Let go. Come on. There we go. Oop. Oh, come on. What part of the snake? Ah, just a little tips right. Okay. Ah, in the bottom corner. I don't think I like those ones. Those ones are a little complicated. I get rid of those and keep the other two. Don't need those. I can keep that piece that's nice and big. I'm going to keep guys. Yeah, I'm going to keep that as is there. And then I'm going to just keep that whole piece because I'm not sure where exactly I'm going to cut from bits from there, but I can cut more ears if I need them. Okay. Then pull this off of the cat faces. There's my cat, or one cat. Here's the other cat. Ooh. Okay, that did pull off a little bit easier. It still has a little bit of issues. Oh, oof. Okay, they're very, very fluffy. I'm going to go over to Bernard and get him all situated. Okay, my entire room is now full of little fuzzies. This is lovely. Okay, Bernard needs to turn on. I'm going to give him white thread for these cats. That's mostly a white color there. Do your wiggles. Thank you. What is this song? Ooh. Got my cat faces. I am, I think, gonna pin them a little bit. Let me see. Go to. I'm gonna at least pin right here. Oop, that's still got some stabilizer in his little mouth. Okay. Uh, do I want to put the ears on before? Yeah, I think I'm going to put the ears on before I do the uh the dart in the middle of the back. Because that just means I'll be working on it while it's flat instead of when it is then rounded. Ooh, and I do need to trim the edges of that because it does not stretch. Ah, okay. So ear off. This edge, I'm going to put a little series of tiny snips in so that I can then stretch it out to straight. Okay, first we're gonna get rid of all the fuzzies. Go away. Okay, so now I should be able to stretch that out to straight easier. So now I'm gonna put the ear on, which is that's the right side of the ear. Okay, good sides together. I'm actually using the less fuzzy side of this fabric as the good side because you can see the pattern easier. So as fuzzy as these guys are, they could be fuzzier. Ear, second ear. Oop, so fuzzy. Ow! Ooh, that pin hurt. Got myself under the nail with that one. I'm still surrounded by the fuzzies from the goat fur from yesterday. Like that's just a little bit of black hair that was flying around. Okay, that face has its ears. Pull the fuzzies off of this as well. The biggest issue I'm gonna have when sewing this is not being able to see the 2 edges because they're so wrapped up in fuzzies. So I'm gonna have to just double check and make sure that I've actually stitched through, both layers. Oh, many fuzzies. So these 2 cats combined, I'm up to 47 minutes on. I'm aiming for less than 2 hours total for them. Like, that would be my I could finish both of these in 2 hours or less. Okay, ears are on. The fronts are pinned together. I'm gonna take these over to Bernard. I might bring the ears I'm gonna bring the inside ears over with me too, because then I can just kind of pin them in place right at my sewing machine. What color thread do you have in your bobbin? Green. Green from the Toxicat. Okay, we're going to put, I think, gray. Don't turn your, don't do that. Okay. And we're going to start with stabilizer just to keep it from eating the fabric because I really do think this would eat the fabric. Medium speed at most, foot down, needle down, and then we can. Release, let go of the paper. Oh my goodness. Pretty good. Okay. I need my pokey stick for this. There we go. Face in half. Okay, so there's my cat face. I think that turned out pretty well. Not as stretchy. Didn't need that anyways. Okay, and then bottom. fuzz that one. Okay. Two faces. Yay! Now the ears. Oh, I want to do it, I think, from the back. That's, no, I think either way would probably work. I cut the back, not the ear. So if I'm going to have an issue with the little bits folding under, it's going to be these little cut bits from the back. I just want to make sure everything stays tucked in where it's supposed to be. And double check my edge. Sure that it's actually stitched down all the way around the ear. It is not. There's a little hole right there. So I'm going to there and we're going to stitch that part down twice. Hope that got it this time. Okay, that's better. No holes now. Okay. Whew. Then I'll do this ear, same way. For underneath, catching it all. Yep, that one got it all the way through. Okay, so now I can sew up center darts. Oh, I wonder if it would have been easier to put the front of the ear on before sewing up that dart. I think I'll do that with the other one. I'll put the front of the ears on before the dart on the other one. See if it makes a difference. Okay, there's the back of the head. I'm going to just put that in the pile with the rest of the faces. And then these ears, I'm going to have to grab a new piece of stabilizer soon. This one's looking a little bit ragged. Looks nice. No holes there. that a hole or just a dark colored spot? I think that's just dark color. Yeah, that's just a dark color. Okay. Just looks like a hole. Okay, so this one I'm gonna put the ears on before I folded it like this. This one I'm putting the ears on after I folded it. I sewed up the darts. And from yesterday, I realized that it's easier to pin from the corners. So I'm going to keep doing that, pin from the corners, and then go up to the center rather than trying to line up the center first. This is very fuzzy fabric, so I think I'm going to pin it quite a bit. Don't want it sliding. Flip it around and put some pins on the other side as well to hold that rolling under or anything like that. Okay. Second ear. And oh, this is probably a bad day to wear a black shirt because I am just covered with little white fuzzies now. Okay. I was pinning this one. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put them in between each of these and then flip it around and put pins in 5 of these. But from the other side, okay. That wasn't necessarily difficult with the dart there. So I think I could do it either way. I don't think it matters which one I put in first, the dart or the ear. Ooh, people lurking. Well, enjoy your lurks, both of you. Oh, that ear is like smaller than the other cat. I guess because it's not stretchy. That makes sense. But okay. So the second one, I'm gonna have to pick the fur out of the seams on these, I think, because they're just it's so fuzzy again. Yeah, the seams might need brushed out. That'll be a once it's all sewn up kind of thing. That seam looks good. I think it might just be the tips of the ears that need pulled apart there. Okay. Okay, so the other back, I'm going to put the ears on before I stitch them up. Whoops, I almost put that one on backwards. Oops, inside out ears. We've been extremely fuzzy just on one part of the ear there. Come on, edges. Yeah, not much difference in pinning. So probably could put the darts in beforehand just because then I've got less fabric flapping around. Oh, I almost did that one backwards too. Ugh. This one dude would have had very fuzzy backs of his ears and like normal everything else. This is also fabric that I think once I put the stitches in, they are not coming back out. So if I make a mistake, I just pretty much have to trash it because it would take me so much longer to actually pull these stitches out than it would to just remake the next piece. A fuzz up my nose. Oh my goodness. This is too much fuzz in the craft room. Okay. Yeah, not much of a difference. It is flatter right where I'm holding when the ear is being finished, so that's nice. But the ear itself sewed up pretty much the same way, so not that's just a me holding the fabric difference, not a how well it sewed up difference. Okay. Oops, I didn't quite get the edge of that ear. A little bit up. I'm gonna just hand sew that together later on. And then stitch this together. I do need the stabilizer for this again. Ooh, so maybe it would be better just to do the darts. Don't do that. Go back up. Come on. Maybe it would be better to do the darts first just because then I don't use the stabilizer on the ears or going around the cats. Just use it for the darts. So if I finish all the darts together, then I don't have to worry about holding on to this piece of paper for later. Hold on. Okay, don't do that. Get that edge back under. Okay, there's the back of the face. I've got two backs of the faces. And go. Okay, I'm going to use the yellow pins for these parts just because this is very, very bulky fabric. So I might actually have to grab a couple more yellow pins above. Right here. I don't have to line up any of these spots or anything like I did the green cat. Okay, there's some more yellow pins. Now these are the ones I do not sew over because if I hit them with the needle will break before the yellow pins break. So I'm going to be good and actually remove them as I'm sewing. I'm going to do the same as the green cat yesterday where I uh, leave the ears open and stitch everything else closed. That should be the top's all good. And then side of the ear. Hold it together. Actually going to put a pin back right in there because I want to check that once I'm done because I think the underside shifted. It did. It shifted a little bit right here. So I'm going to go back over that just on the opposite side to make sure that that all caught right up on the edge of the fluff there. So that's all there. Now I can flip it inside out through one of the ears. flip the ears right side out as well. And there's my cat. Needs to be stuffed still, but that's not terrible. I'm gonna toss him back over onto the table. I can bring the other little guys down so you can them easier. There's my little cat. I'm gonna do the same with this one's face. Yellow pins together. That seam is, oops, I want to fold that under just a little bit there. Here. There. Now the little super stretchy cats, I filled them with mochi or mochi stuffing because they're super stretchy, so they need a very soft stuffing that goes with them. I think I'm going to try and stuff these guys with my regular polyfill stuffing because they're not going to have that same super stretch to them. I don't think they're going to need the mochi filling. It does mean they won't be nearly as like squishy stretchy as the mochi ones because they're different fabric. But I think it'll work out. And I have more of the regular stuffing than I do the mochi. I ran over that yellow one. That was good. Okay, that's the bottom. The top. Flatten underneath. You. Okay, slip that cat through another ear. Okay, there's my snow leopard. Okay, so there's my two kitty faces. I need to stuff it. Maybe I'll do one with my regular stuffing and then one with mochi. Just how they turn. do that. I'm at an hour and 17 minutes, so I'm definitely coming in underneath my 2-hour hope. So that's good. That's about half stuffed. Definitely lumpier than if I'd filled it with mochi. What under a cow mink? I could make a cow body cat. Fill that ear up. Okay, so that's regular stuffing. Let me put mochi in the other cat. See how that would affect the squishability. Whew. Yeah, just gonna stick everywhere. Whew. Oh, super slippery. Fill up that first ear. I think that's about half stuffed. Don't do that. Dad. Oh man, I really like the mochi. That's a problem. I see. I need to stuff it a little bit firmer with the mochi. I want him to keep his shape. I don't want him to be like squashed. Stuff the ears well. The mochi is squishier, but again, he's not super stretchy. I think maybe if I just unstuff this guy a little bit, I take a little bit of stuffing out of him, flatten him just a bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the regular stuffing in these guys just because they don't really have the stretch that the mochi is good for. Ugh, he does need a little bit extra right there though. Okay, no, I can't take stuffing out of him, I guess, because he's got a flat spot on his head now. I just squished a flat spot into him. So these cats will just be less squishy than the mochi cats are. Yeah, okay. Mochi comes out of this guy. I'm gonna just do that right over the mochi bin so I can dump it right in. Deflating a cat. Okay. Then for the regular stuffing. I'm going to pause while I stuff this cat now because I technically already stuffed him once. So I don't need to record stuffing him twice. Squish him face. Squish him face. That looks like a good amount. I just need a little bit for here. Okay. There we go. All stuffed. Now I can restart my timer because I'm going to stitch those ears together, which I'm going to need my white thread for. That's bobbin thread. Ooh. Throwing thread. Okay. So I'm going to just stitch these ears closed. And this is super fuzzy fabric, so this works well with me not being good at tiny little stitches because I can make big stitches in here and nothing will be seen. All of that fur will just kind of hide my mistakes. There we go. Nice. Not off right there. And I will be back in 2 seconds. Because why is our heat turned already quite warm in the house? We don't need heat. You're at 69. Why are you already turned? Don't do that. Just need to resolve the fact that the heat was turning on and it's already very warm in my room. My craft room heats up with all the lights and everything I have. I do not need more heat. Okay, there's my ear. Oops, don't do that. Okay, there's my second ear on. Yeah, it's gonna take me a little over an hour and a half to make 2 of these guys, which is great. I'm really looking for these guys to be like under an hour each. So if my little simple guys are much under an hour and uh each, like if they're like if I'm doing an hour and a half, that's 90 minutes, so 45 each. That would be great. That way when I do the things with like the rainbow stripes that take more time, I can kind of average them together and bring them both up to like that hour range. I will still probably price the simple kitties with like no decorations, like these little guys, or the purple cat here. I will probably still price those guys lower than the more complex cats, just to signify the fact that they are simple cats versus the complex cats. But I can kind of bring the price down on the complex cats if I bring the price up on the simple cats a little bit. So instead of it being like a $20 cat and a $50 cat, I could do like a 25 and 45, something like that. I don't think these cats are 50. That would be insane. I would not be making them if they were going to be 50. But I think this one I put together is going to be about 30. We'll see when I start making a bunch more of them, but uh, unless I can really streamline the process, they might be a little bit more expensive than the 1 hour that I was hoping for. Ow. Yeah, that ear looks so much smaller to me because it doesn't stretch. He's just got tiny little ears. Itty bitty ears. Okay, that this should be the last knot. Nice. Ah, I missed it by a couple of seconds. I could have done 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds. Ah, disappointing. I almost got 44. 133.45. So an hour and a half for two of these little guys. Let me put that down in my little notebook. My goat of the lamb. Cult of the goat of the cult. Oh, where's my kitty? Okay, so kitty notes. It was a 9 by 16 piece. Two leopard cats. was 1 hour 33 minutes. That was, I cut 2 pieces that were 16 by 9. 16 by 9 times 2, that was ultra fluff fabric. I used nothing else. Oh, it was regular, it was regular polyfill. And how much do they each weigh? I think it's about 4 ounces. Where's, see how good I am at estimating my ounces. Two each, 2.1, 2.2. Ah. Okay, so they are point ounces each. Okay, so there's my 2 little guys. I now have their info for recorded for later. So I can start my next ones and then see how long they take. Reset. Stop. Set. Set. There we go. Okay. So these guys are done. I'm going to leave one of them up there. I'm going to drop the other into the finished plushies bag. Put those away. Okay. I think I want to do 2 more plain plushies. The same way that I did these, I just want to do 2 more plain ones, see how well I can do that time-wise. The shape difference on these 2. My goodness. That's just because of the way the fabric stretches. Like, this is the same pattern. This guy is just so much rounder. Like, he's an oval as compared to this one, which is, like, very circular. Oh my goodness. Weesh. The exact same pattern, just on different fabrics and how they're all turning out slightly different. I think I want to do a regular Minky. And I have a cow pattern. I think, ow, I stabbed myself with pins. I'm going to pull out this cow pattern Minky. Stab myself with another pin? No, I did not. So good. I think I want to do a cow cat. Just because I think this is fun. And I want to see how long it takes to make the 2 cow cats. And I also want to see how it stretches in comparison. Like, this is 0 stretch, or almost 0 stretch. This is all the stretch. This is like, what, 50 stretch? I want to see where it is in between there. Like, how those 2 work out. Okay, so. Full drink. Cow Minky. Pull my tools away first. Everything is out of the way. I'm going to reset back to 0. No. Pattern pieces. Don't think I need the pins right now. Ow, stabbed myself with a pin. Cats are going to be moved out of the way temporarily. I'll bring them back once I've cut the fabric. I just need bigger space for that. Go sit on top of the Cricut with the floppy dragon. Mr. Butts. Okay. Let's see, that's, it brushes down that way, so I want to work off of this end. And I need to cut the 16 by 9. It worked out pretty well last time when I had the, you stretch sideways. Okay. When I had the one piece for the embroidery and then one piece to cut the backs out. So I think I'm just going to do that again. I'm going to cut two 16 by 9 pieces. I'll worry about getting the other bits out of it afterward. 15, 16 by 9. Right? That's what I said? I'm going to double check on my computer. Yeah, 9 tall, 16-ish wide. I actually only need like 14 point something, 14.0, so 14. So I probably could get away with just 15. They do have an edge down here that is right off the camera, so you can't see it. I'm not going to be using that, so I'm going to actually go to like 15 and a half ish there. So the 14 is only here. So I'll have an extra inch and a half below off the camera that I'm just not going to use. And it looks to be good 9, because I actually only need 7.1. So 7 there. I'll have an inch on either side, top and bottom, to work with. So that'll be good. Ooh, come on. Don't do that. Oh, you're being weird. Okay, stop that. Bad at cutting. Okay. That up. Got my 2 cow prints. And then I can fold the rest of the cow up. I'm only going to make the 2 cow cats. Pin that back in place way without it unfolding. Okay, that goes back in my minky storage closet. Ow, stab. Oof. Uncool, uncool. I do need another bit of stabilizer. Ooh, I might need a new face stabilizer as well. Let's see. Told you there. $12 to right there. Ah, let go. Okay, that cat face. Hmm. It has 2 cats cut out right there. I think if I flip it around and I use right here, I can get the 2 cat embroideries in there as well. I don't have to cut a new one of those. Not yet. stabilizer in there. Ah, oh, whap. Okay. That's good. Okay. The cats go down that way, so it has to brush down that way. Good. Okay. I'm going to put that right there. I'm actually going to pin this one down because it's a little bit shifty. I'm going to just put pins in all four corners just to kind of hold the Minky in place. No, not my finger. Come on. Okay. Move down a little bit. There we go. Okay. There's my cow Minky. I will let that trace the outline and then see if I can get this cat faces to line up on the unused section, not the used bits. Okay. They're going back to Thomas. And you are ready to begin your next embroidery, so we can just press go. You good with your string? Okay. Thomas is going to do his thing. While he's doing that, I will cut out the next bits. And on this one, I don't want to cut around my pattern bits. I'm going to see if I can do a trace in yellow. Will that work? I believe I can see that. Okay, good. I'm going to trace it and then cut it. I don't like cutting around my actual pattern pieces if I can get away with it, simply because if you miss and you cut into your pattern piece, you can like cut a bit of it off. It's just paper, it can be cut through. And if you do that, then your pattern piece becomes slightly smaller for next time. And if you do that too many times, then you'll have a very, very small pattern piece. Okay, there we go. And again, I need 4 of each ear. Oops, that was not very good tracing. Whoa. There's 3. Oh, I don't think I can fit the 4th one there. I fit that one there? No, just shy. I can cut off that little corner. That's fine. That'll fit there. It's perfect. Okay, give me a minute, Thomas. I see that you've paused. Okay. Okay, let's see. Can I get you put the cat faces on the not used parts? Yeah, that should work. That should be fine. Okay, let me see. Can I? Wow. Okay. Cookie tool goes running away. Can I pin this in place right here? Ow. Ow. Okay, maybe not right there. Ow. Okay, I don't like that pin anymore. That one immediately works. Okay, cool, cool. Oh, and then can I put 2 in the back? Mm. Trying to do this without removing the hoop. It would be easier if I just removed it. There we go. Okay, that looks like it should miss both the cat faces. So you're good to go. You may continue with your cat faces. Back to work. And me back to tracing things. I think I'm going to put that there. I might be just short the fabric for some of these. I think I can fit 3 of the 4 ears I need. So I'll have to get the 4th ear out of the other fabric. I cut this one a little bit smaller than I did the fuzzy leopard fabric. And it turns out that might have been a bad decision. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. This one needs number 2. Two. Yeah, I'm going to be able to get 3 of the 4 here. Maybe the 4th. We'll see. How low into this can I put that? Let's see. 3. I can. Perfect. Totally did all of that on purpose. I knew exactly how much I was going to need. Completely on purpose. Absolutely. Luck has nothing to do with that. Okay. And now I can cut these guys out. Okay. Depending on how quickly I get these cut out, I could actually start sewing them together before Thomas finishes his faces. That would definitely speed up the process. What was I doing? for the leopards? Was I doing something else besides cutting them out, or did they just take me that long to cut out? Uh. He's on to the eyes and the nose of the first one. I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna cut these cut out before he's done sewing. Go 4 of the front ears. Oops. Here's 4 of the back ears. That's number 2. This is 3. And number 4 here. Okay, Vlad, you're sent, or Vlad, yeah. Thomas, you're sent. A little bit icky. What you doing? You still sewing nicely? Ah, you jumped your thread. Okay, well, you know what? We can fix that. You don't even need to pause. You just need to, let me hold your thread. There we go. You good? Happier? You like your thread better that way? Okay. He pulled his thread out of his thread tree, so his tension changed. And he was not happy about it. Okay, I'm probably going to have to snip these ears as well because they're not going to stretch like the mochi did. But I'm going to try and pin one ear down first. See how far I can stretch it, if I need to snip them or not. Yeah, I'm going to have to snip. Okay. So the backs of the heads will need little snips. Let me see. You probably do. Okay. There we go. Some little snips there. Little snips there. Okay. Some snips. And now I can pin. And I'm going to go from the back into the ear because the back is the part uh that got the snips. So I want to hold each of those snips down. Each of them is going to get like a pin into it. There. Gonna be a whole bunch of pins. Oops. Well, don't go through 2 layers of the fabric. Just go through the one. Right there. I'm kind of using those little lines that I drew on the pattern piece and on the ear to line them up. Thomas may beat me. Oh, that face is going to be mostly in the black spots. That's going to be interesting. Oh, why are you having a bobbin thread? Okay, well, give me a second. Thomas has decided that he has run out of bobbin thread and he does not want to sew without bobbin thread. I understand. But he's going to have to wait for me because I want to pin this ear up for putting it down. And just wait. There we go. Both of the ears on that cow cat are done. Thomas can get his bobbin thread now. Oh, picky. Oh, picky. Bobbin thread. Nip. Okay, we're going to get your bobbin out. Oops. I smacked the pins around. Yeah, okay, you were low. I'll allow it. You good? That looks full. Not very good bobbin, but we'll see how that goes, yeah? You have definitely made better bobbins than this. This may cause problems. We're see though. Trusting you, Thomas. We're actually gonna just rethread you. You take the bobbin thread out. Okay. Okay, now hopefully no problems, right, sir? You're not gonna have any problems. I'm trusting you. Now you're having problems. See, that's not supposed to happen. You have betrayed my trust. You're not supposed to do that. Okay, well, we're gonna pause the cats now. Because he's gonna need a new bobbin. Okay, cut your thread. Yeah, you didn't like that at all. Oh, you did not do a good job cutting. Yeah, you don't like that bobbin at all. Well, why did you make a bad bobbin? Okay, I'm gonna have Bernard fill a bobbin. See if he can make one that you like. Okay. So Thomas may fill this bobbin. He just didn't get the tension on it right. So it's a little bit like loose and lumpy. And he just doesn't like grabbing from that apparently. But this is like a soft bobbin thread, so it's already going to be a little bit squishier than you want it to be. Let's see. Are you going to let this one work? That there. Don't do that. That's rude. We're going to back up a couple stitches. Okay. Let's try that one, huh? Do we like that bobbin? Is that one better? Not being weird about it? Okay. Trusting you. Now I can go back to pinning. hopefully Thomas will accept this bobbin. For the other bobbin, I just need to take it and wrap it around a new bobbin, but like hold it onto the thread, give it a little extra tension as it winds. So it's not like I've lost that bobbin forever. I just need to redo it onto a new bobbin and then probably fill a couple of extra bobbins just so I don't run out. I have like dedicated bobbins specifically for embroidery and sewing and for bobbin thread. And I usually have like a dozen bobbin threads wound and ready to go because there's only like white and black bobbin threads and almost everything uses white. I will just wind them up to have them ready to go. So I just spend one day winding everything. But I haven't done that in a while, so what I've been doing recently is just when I run out, I fill a new one. Kind of slows down the things I'm in the middle of working on, but ultimately it's the same amount of work either way. I'm just either doing it all at once or doing it as I go, I guess. This one lines up there. 4 more pins to go. Okay, ears are pinned in place on both of those cats. I am going to go sew. I need to put my white thread back on, not my bobbin thread. Thomas has a nose and an eye to go. He's probably going to finish before I get these 4 ears on. Let's see. Ow. Just got caught in me. Okay. And I'm going to stitch them from the back instead of from the ear because I want to make sure I catch all of those little dudes. Ah, you're as bad as Thomas. Oh my god. Ah, Fred. Okay. Good. Not tangling. Ah, pins go. Whoops, I put way too much paper underneath there. That was a lot to rip out. Whoops. What was that sound for, Thomas? Okay, I think that paper is just about done, so I'm gonna trash that and grab a new one. That was 2 ears. Now we're going to get rid of that extra long thread. We don't need it. That ear is folded under. I do not want to catch any of it. Oop, I think he finished before I got to the 4th ear. Yep, he's done. Okay, well, I'm going to sew up this 4th ear, and then we can take both the heads and the faces back to the table. Okay, there's my ears. I will take Thomas's work back with me as well. Okay. Ouch. In. This Minky is not nearly as fluffy as the leopard prints were. So I can actually see stitches on the front here around the face. You snip these extra threads. You don't need them. And I can cut these faces out. I am going to save the little cow print bits though. But in case I need to make other ears and next time I'm not so good at cutting the fabric, I'll have cow ear. Cow cats. Cow meows. Okay. Cow. Put that stabilizer off to the side and cut a couple pieces out of there. and rip that off. Okay, I got my faces as well. There we go. This one, both of the eyes are right on that black spot. This one, half the face is over in the black. So I think I'm going to put the black face with the more white back. I'll put the more black back with the whiter face. Just kind of equalize the amount of black and white on each of them. Yeah. That's a big chunk of black right there. Okay. So first thing is going to be sewing all of the darts together and then putting the faces together onto the backs. Oh, nope, the ears. I forgot the little fronts of the ears. Okay, got fronts of the ears, which I could do right now before the darts. Doesn't really matter when I put them on. I figured that one out with the leopard cats. Okay. I guess I will pin them on right here at the table. I only have one ear that has a big black spot on it, so I'm going to put that one with the whitest of the ears. Again, trying to balance things out. But the other three will just go wherever they fit. This is not as fluffy of a fabric as the leopard prints. Oh, I could bring those guys back over here onto the table. Yes, you can see which ones I'm talking. Let me bring these guys back over. So there's my little leopard that I just made. Here is the toxic cat from yesterday that is either, I don't know, moss or toxic sludge. Purple cat that is very, very stretchy. My extra way. And then Rainbow Cat, who is my favorite but takes the longest to make. I need to get some of the smaller, quicker ones like the purple and uh the leopard made first. So I can figure out the low end of how long these guys take me. And then I will figure out how long he takes at the high end so that I can figure out the price of them. This one's going to get the black because I think it's going to be the whitest of the ears. It's going to have the biggest black spot. I'm only putting 5 pins in these, not 9 like I did on the leopard ear. Not as fuzzy. I'll be able to see the edges when I'm sewing. Well, assuming I can pin them in the right place. Okay, those two there. Okay, so that's all pinned. Very nice. I did pin just underneath the mouth to kind of keep the mouth itself centered. Now I can go over to Bernard again. And get these guys sewn together. There's the bottom of that mouth. Probably have a white bobbin in. I still have the gray bobbin from the leopards. I thought maybe having an alternate color in the bobbin would be a little bit more helpful if I did have to tear any of the stitches apart. I don't think I'm going to need a color on these. If I have to pull these guys apart, I can see what I'm doing on the main. There's the front of the face. The gray is a little bit visible. I am going to swap it out. I don't have a white bobbin. How do I not have a white bobbin? What the heck? I have an empty bobbin though. I'll make a new white bobbin. I'll probably find my white bobbin. Oh, yep, there it is. Found it. I said, no, that's the soft bobbin. That's not the one I want. Nope. Okay. Like I said, I'm probably gonna find my white bobbin as soon as I make this one. Almost put bobbin thread in. Bobbin thread is different than sewing thread. It is much finer and thinner because when you're doing embroidery, you're putting a lot of stitches down in one place. When you're sewing, you're just making a line of stitches. So the finer thread is easier to pile in there so close together, like in the backs of these eyes. Uh, so you need finer thread, which means it's not strong enough to actually hold together if you're trying to sew something and you want nice, strong stitches. You need actual sewing thread for that. There's a fuzz in there. It is Thursday. He gets cleaned out on Friday, so he will be fuzzy for another day. Okay, white thread. Go and the bottom. This should really be black thread. There's so much black in it. Oh no. Oh well. Oh well. I'm not swapping every time there's a spot. Okay, there's the fronts of the two cats' faces. I'm going to do the ears first. Just because they are full of pins right now and I do not want to stab myself. One ear. Guy on all edges. That looks good. Oh, that almost matched up. That spot. Ah, that was so close. That would have been real cool. I would have claimed I did it on purpose. Unfold. Oh, thank you. That looks good. No, nothing lines up on that one, unfortunately. Okay, there's the back of the head, and I think this is the one that was going to go with the mostly black face. So I'm going to just pile those two together right now. Whew. And ears time. Huh? Bead? Okay. And there's that ear. That looks good. Flip that out. Right side ins. And that ear looks good too. Yay! Okay. Cow cats are working out perfectly. Here. Okay. That should be the last I need that stabilizer for because these cats are going to be sewn on top of each other. So there will be, like, I'm doing a full circle. So there's going to be fabric underneath when I begin. I am going to line up the top and bottom seams with my yellow pins. I do not sew over. I will sew over the blue ones, even though you're not supposed to do that either. Do not sew over your pins, it's very bad. I don't need nearly as many pins as the leopard cats or the mochi cats. I think I will still put one right up at top of the ear. I can use the blue ones for this. I'll do top and bottom of ear and maybe one in between. Just to kind of keep things lined up. That looks good. One in the middle of the side, and then now this stuff isn't as stretchy as the mochi, but it is stretchier than the leopard, so I think I'm going to put the mochi stuffing in this one. Flip that way. Okay, so that's the entire under the ear section. One more, ow, over the ear. Ooh. Okay, then I can flip that through one of the ears. Smush, smush. And the cow cat. Okay. Cow cat, I'm going to just set here on the table so that you can see cow cat a little bit. Tiny little cow cat in the corner there. And put together the second cow cat. Together there on that side. Ooh. Well, I just threw a pin. That's cool. That's cool. Up. Okay. That's good. I might put 2 on this. Oh, okay, that lines up nice. This was just a little bit short. I just don't think I lined up the bottom section before I pinned it very well. Fabric underneath. There we go. We're going to start right here. Under. Don't want to run over the yellow pin. Yellow pin will beat my machine. Get from the back, I think. Ah, flatten underneath. Okay. Okay, cow cat 2. Flip that ear, flip this ear. And there's the second cow cat. Nice. One's got a very black face. Very half and half. I kind of like that. So it's Two Face. Okay. Back to here. That is just an hour of time. Ah, I think I'm gonna go with the mochi for these guys. Because this was still pretty nice with the mochi. It was just a little too much, I think, for not enough stretch. Woo! So I'm gonna mochi these guys because they do have a little bit more stretch. I think it's just enough. Yeah, that's feeling nice already. I think mochi is the right choice for these. Means I'm gonna have to figure out where to source my mochi from. I have to buy that online from overseas. Yeah, that feels nice. It's very squishy. That's a good squish. Still needs a little bit more. The mostly black ear ended up on the mostly black side of the cat body. Cat just wanted to be very half and half faced here. Like, this is okay. Good job, cat. Yeah, this half of the face, the only white is right here. There's a little tiny bit there. Like, that's that half. There's a tiny little bit there. And then there's a white spot down at the very bottom. Everything else on this half of the face is black. And he's got little spots on this side. That's fun. Yeah, I think the mochi was the right choice for that. It's not as stretchy or squishy as the like this cat, but that still feels nice. Like, that's got some good squish to it. Doesn't have the stretch, but it has the squish. Okay. Go get some more of that. I think I'm gonna need more than this too, but that's okay. I'll start with this. Yep, I'm gonna need a little bit more. I can really stuff up that ear. That looks nice. The rest of the cat bits around. There's a little bit of a thread from the embroidery, so I'm gonna just snip that. Cleaned up, nice. Got thread coming out of your head. You don't need that either. Just a little bit more mochi in this one. For me, mochi stuffing in this one. That's probably good. Actually, I might need a little bit more. I didn't notice that back. Oh, his back's a little lumpy on this cat. It's gonna be a lumpy cow. Come on here. Trying to stuff you too. Okay. I think that's it. There's all the fluff that's stuck to the back. Cool. Put that back in with the rest of the mochi minky. Mochi stuffing. Okay. They need to be stitched up. I need my white thread for that. Let's see. The leopards were an hour and a half, an hour and 33 minutes for the two of them. Let's see how the cow cats turn out in comparison. Don't think I made this thread long enough for all 4 ears. We'll see. This one, my stitches do matter a little bit more than the leopard cats. They were super fuzzy, so they would hide any of my sins. These guys are slightly less fuzzy, so my stitches do matter a little bit more here. Not as much as they matter on the mochi, though. Like that purple cat, those stitches are very visible. The green cat, I ended up going over each stitch twice just to kind of smooth them out. I am liking closing up the ears more than I am closing up something on the bottom, though. I think this is actually working out better than having the opening somewhere along the bottom. Okay, then I can this ear. Oops, don't get your ear. I was like the goat I was working on yesterday was constantly catching on its fur and other body parts as I was trying to stitch it up. That was frustrating. Okay, one cat is done. I think this is going to end up being just about that 1.5 hours, just like the leopard cat. So that'll be pretty good if I can just assume that any basic single color cat is going to be an hour and a half to make two of them, or 45 minutes each. That would be very helpful. Ow! Probably shouldn't stab myself. I do have enough thread, I think. Oh, good. There's the third ear. And now it's the all black ear, which I am going to be, or all black side of the face, which I'm still going to be using white for. I wish I had like a Minky that was calico print. That would be cool. I could make it look cat like without having to like sew bits on if I just had that fabric itself. Wow, that ear is mostly black as well. Look at that. That's the only little bit of white on that ear. Right there. This is literally is just a half and half cat. That's fun. Focus on the eyes or no? Not focusing. We are not. Okay, well, I can see the eyes. Okay, tie off that knot. Okay. 1 hour, 18 minutes to make the two cats there. So I'm going to come back over to here and say two cow cats for 1 hour and 19 minutes. 16 by 9 fabric, two of those. Just Minky and a Minky. And I did silky cell stuffing. Probably around 4 ounces of that as well. Come on. Let's see. How many ounces do you weigh? 3. Oh, you're a heavy cat. 3 ounces each. Okay. So they're a fun shape. They're like right in between the roundness of each of these guys. This is, again, the same pattern for each one of these. So the fabric just stretches differently. So this is my very round, non-stretchy one. These ones are slightly stretchier. And these guys are very, very stretchy, and the size difference is pretty incredible. That's fun. That is the same pattern piece. This one just stretches more. Stretch and squish of it all. So that's fun. They range in size, I guess. Okay, so that's that. I guess I can make some more kitties. That would be the next thing for today. Like today's whole plan is just kitties. I want to make a bunch of different kitties to try and figure out like the range of prices and everything. I could try another spotty kitty. Maybe in regular minky. Because this is my mochi, extra stretchy. Maybe I could try a regular minky kitty with spots. Um, what colors? Would I want to do more spots than just the 2? One on the ear and one on the chin? Would I want to put another spot up on that ear? Hmm. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll make another cat that has stripes. But I'm going to make it, I think, a gray cat with like dark gray stripes. Just one color, every stripe will be the same. Hmm. How long have I been streaming? I'm going to do about a 4-hour stream. That's 3.5 hours. Maybe I will just stop for today. Um, really short stream today. Maybe I'll stop though because I do want to pull out my sewing machine to work on cloak for the goat of the cult. That I have mostly finished. I did get some magnets, but I wasn't going to put them in today. I decided I just wasn't feeling it. So my goat of the cult has his little cape. So he needs the top bit on there. Position back out to there again. So he needs the little top on his cape, which I can't do on stream. I will need to get the sewing machine out from underneath the piles of my everything. So I will have to do that off stream. But if I get that top and everything on, then I can finish up this guy tomorrow. take pictures and have him listed online this weekend. I do want to make more of these little guys to try and test out the price of them. But I think I'm going to go with the stripy one because I want to test out the stripy because the stripy took the longest. Because this is all embroidery, so I'm waiting on my machine for all of that. So I think I want to do that one again and time it with the stripes. But that's going to take more than about half an hour. And I do have the other things I want to do today. So I might. Do I want to end stream now? I think I might. This is a super short stream for me. But I have things to do off stream. And yeah, I think I'm going to end stream here. If you have any suggestions on who we should raid to, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go and just search for anybody who is currently sewing and see if there is a there. Let's see. There was a guy who was working on a pirate coat yesterday that I saw, which looked really cool, but I came into their stream like 2 minutes before they ended. But I thought that was pretty cool. So maybe we'll drop in over there. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by today to my super short little stream. We're going to go raid Fenris Fantasies. I will be back tomorrow to work on more of these kitties. Let's see, can I actually raid Fenris Fantasies? Yes. I will be back tomorrow to work on more of these little kitties. And also the goat. So, a couple of things. Thank you for stopping by. I'm here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever I can. Maybe Tuesdays, probably not Mondays. So if you want to catch more of my streams, you can give me a follow or just back, I guess. But I will be here making plushies whenever I catch you next. Thanks. Bye, guys.